Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do beer stuff here. We do massive beer stuff. Beer reviews, beer interviews, all kinds of fun stuff. And then we do mystery beers. That's what we're going to be doing tonight, but special mystery beers. A two-banger. As our boy Cameron, who sent these to us, Battle Beers, baby. We're doing basically, I'm assuming, some kind of beers that are related in some form or fashion. This is number 5. This is number 6. Just says Battle Beers. We have no idea what these are. What we're going to do is we're going to open them, and then we're going to review them blind. Battle Beers, or mystery beers, whatever you want to call them. Little hisses on these. Not big hisses. We'll see what's what. And we'll give it an old review. There you go. So, let's give it the old pour. Okay, we're a little bit more aggressive over on this side. The bottles look identical. There's no kind of distinct markings. I'm getting whopping amounts of fruit off of these, so I assume they're IPAs. Now, if you can see, hopefully you can make it on a camera. Yeah, you should be able to. This one over here, much darker. Much darker. Still in that kind of hazy IPA kind of realm. And that's what it pretty much looks like. I mean, with the fruit, it's like a guava kind of tropical fruit thing, just kind of from a distance. You know, with that amount of fruit going on, you're assuming these are kind of hazy IPAs. But they look all the part of a hazy beer. A little bit less like... It's not like super turbid. It's like old school hazy IPA. What does that lead me to believe? Small brewery? Maybe. Old school brewery, maybe. Home brewery, maybe. Maybe it's a little bit of blind battle beer homebrew. Who knows what's going on? But they both look the part. Not a huge head on them, even though I poured them quite aggressively. This one has a classic kind of more old school New England style coloration to it as far as the hazy goes. This is more of your Midwestern kind of coloration. That's number 6 over here. I'm going to flip these because I want uniformity. Because I want to go with that little darker one next, because I think it might have a little extra something going on. So I want to get on this one first. We'll do number 5. Let's get a nose. Yeah, definitely a big fruit component. It reminds me very much of kind of old school, new school kind of IPA. There's a little bit of like there's something to it that's a little bit tomato stocky. I haven't said that word in a while. I think a lot of breweries have kind of gone away from your cat pea / tomato stockiness when it comes to hazy IPAs. But it's all the fruits. Very much tropical fruit leaning. Sweet. Malty. Malty is the word here. And by the look of the beer, you can kind of assume that it was not a lot of brewer sugar involved here. It's pretty much just probably a straight grain bill with a big amount of hops to them. Up in the air with a little bit of kind of maybe fruit added to it. It does have that slight kind of vitamin, gummy, Flintstone vitamin-y kind of fruit, tropical fruity that you would get on some of the like old school beers or Chill Waves and Sculpins of the world. Not hating on that. But it smells like an old school New England style-esque kind of IPA that was made in like 2009. Let's go over to the darker one over here. Okay, this one definitely has a huge butter component to it. Oxidized. A lot of butter vibes. Yeah, it smells kind of like this beer, but just oxidized. Everything's a little bit more tempered here because of the oxidation. You get that big bite kind of... It's a combination of like a butter and also a cream corn, so it's kind of like a mixture of DMS and diacetyl. But you can tell there was some kind of fruit component going on around it. This one much more fresher. This much more kind of lost its way. It's just, these hisses weren't big on these, so there might have been like one of these had a lot more air in the bottle. I can't tell now. So I don't know if this one's a bit older, maybe the same beer, a little bit older. I don't know. We're just gonna dive in. Cheers. Okay. That's somebody's fruited Berliner Weiss is what that is. Super tart. Didn't get any kind of acidic or any kind of precursor of like a big Berliner thing. on the nose, I did get guava, so sometimes I'm actually getting a tinge of heartburn, and I never get heartburn anymore. So somebody's fruit of Berliner Weiss. I'm guessing here. Yeah, it's probably somewhere like somebody's 6%. It's got to be guava, right? Some kind of fruit, tropical fruit, guava leaning Berliner Weiss. Super tart. Super tart. A lot of fruit going on. Now, let's go over this one here. Cheers. It's really hard, especially coming off this bright one. I wish I had a glass of water. It's more of a. It's really hard to get past the oxidative kind of just sideways kind of cream corn buttery thing. The DMS diacetyl kind of creeping in here that's kind of taking over everything. It's still somebody's Berliner, but whether there's fruit added, where there's a copious amount of hops added, it's really hard to get there. And it just comes off as just a Berliner Weiss. It's kind of gone sideways. So over here, obviously not what was intended to be over here beer wise, so take that for what it's worth. Over here, nice acidic but not overly aggressive. Acidic but acidic for a Berliner Weiss. Like I said, it's probably more like 6%. Most Berliners are kind of creeping in the high 4s, low 5s. Tropical fruit leaning, guava for me. It could be also be passion fruit guava. That was kind of almost interchanged quite a bit for me. Berliner Weiss mixture. ABV ways, I'm actually going to say they're probably both the same. Why? I think they're the same beer. I think they're actually both homebrew. And I do think it's just someone did like a guava, passion fruit, tropical one, and then someone maybe shot for something a little bit different. And that addition, whatever the adjunct was on this side of things, helped maybe push this beer into a negative state with its oxidative DMS diacetyleness. I'm trying to think if there's anything added here I can get out of this. I mean, it does come off a little bit more grapefruity for me, so I think this is somebody's six and change Berliner Weiss homebrew. And this one's a tropical leaning one, guava passion fruit. And this one over here might be something leaning a little bit more citrusy. Let's see what we got. What do we have on number 5 here? Okay. We have Three Floyds homebrew. It's not normal. Town and Muster. Three Floyds Foder Fiend. It's not normal. Blaze of Strawberry Super Action. 7%. So it's 8% off. American Wild Ale with strawberries. It was all tropical fruit for me. And it says on here, it says brewed with strawberries and strawberry juice. $29.99 a 4-pack, bottled $16.22. Oh crap! Gotta break stuff. That's for you right there. It was tasty, but for me it was more tropical fruit leaning, strawberry. It does have a little sulfury thing. It might block it off, but this is bad. And I mean it's negative. It's turned. There's something going on in there. So I'm assuming it's that one of those Three Floyd beers, but just really just not good. And that's not a mistake. What is it? What was the Three Floyds watermelon barley wine that I did? That was like one of the worst beers I ever had in my life. This is their Three Floyds American Wild Ale brewed with pears. Okay. Pears are really hard to pick up. Very subtle. Pears are my favorite fruit in the world. This is their aged 11 months in wine in bourbon barrels. $16.99 4-pack, bottled $4.28. Yeah, this thing is oxidized. It's all kinds of horrific as far as where it sits and stuff like that. But fun experience. I will say this. With how sideways wine and bourbon. That's not good. That's not good. With how bad this one, that's why I thought it was homebrew. Because I'm like, I think it's somebody did homebrew and one of their ones went sideways. Not so much how this one tastes, but how bad this one was. Knowing now that it's Three Floyds, who I love to death, and I love the beers that they make, and I'm very happy to drink their stuff. They've been known to throw some wildly crazy haymakers, especially these higher ABV tart sour jams. Wild ale. I'm trying to find the ABV on this. It's Three Floyds, so they gotta put it on here. Where is it? Did they forget it? I think they did. Wow, that's weird. Kind of curious to see where this one lands. It's a wild ale. It's probably close in ABV to that one. That's what it is, but it's a fun side-by-side. It's a fun mystery beer. I thought it was going to be super cool, I'm guessing the homebrew portion of the show, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah. I would drink this again. I would drink this again to see if it was sideways, or the in particular bottle was sideways, but if you told me, oh, if you have this, it's going to drink the same way, I'm not drinking this again. This is fun, tasty. That ABV, though, 7%, man, I can get this at 4%, so that's kind of where I would get a little bit kind of meh on it. But, yeah, artwork's killer, though. Their artwork always makes me happy, so there you go. I love the little notes that Cameron puts on these mystery beers, so very fun. One of the better Berliners I've had as of late. What did they call it? American Wild Ale. This is like a Berliner Weiss for me, but one of the better American Wild Ales. No. Berliners, maybe. ABV kind of jumps short for me. So it's a fine beer, tasty beer, a share beer. I'm off to the next one. Yeah. In the state it is now, who knows what they originally intended, but this combination of this wine, barrel-aged, fruited, soury thing, from this to that watermelon barley wine, negatory. Three Floyds. Appreciate the cut. Appreciate the swing for the fences. You're just not really connecting on those, so I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, let's talk about them. Three Floyds. If you had these beers, what are your thoughts on them? If you've had them, let me know what you thought of them not blind, unless you had them blind, which would be even cooler. And he already told us the value and availability. It's kind of weird. Well, not this one's like it's $20.99, and then this bourbon barrel aged, wine barrel aged wild ale is $16.99. That's priced because they know it's garbage. Like this, technically, this is fruit and yeast. You know what I mean? Why is this one $21? Whereas this one is a barrel aged blend of craziness, and it's much cheaper. To me, that indicates they're like, oh, we got to price that thing to move. Not just me, but have you had these? What do you think? Three Floyds in general, love them. But what's your experience with them, specifically if you are local? And there you go. So, thank you very much for the mystery beer, Cameron. There's much more in the fridge, so we'll get to those soon enough. Thank you very much for y'all for tuning in. If you want to send off mystery beers, you're more than welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the blind side by side. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.